everyone. Welcome to my returning viewers, to the newbies. Welcome to the family. If you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Eva Mutali, and on this channel, we talk about all things travel. We talk about relocation. We talk about legit jobs abroad. So feel welcome. And if those topics sound exciting to you, you want to make sure you are subscribed and to also hit the notification bell so that every time I shoot a new video, you don't miss out. So guys, your girl has been away for quite an adventure, guys. Ethiopia was amazing, 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 amazing. And if you have not watched the Ethiopia vlogs, guys, you are missing out big time. Like, actually, it's Ethiopia that my trip to Ethiopia that inspired today's video, and I was just like, what do I want to talk about when I first come here? So you know how we roll here, guys. Please do say hello in the comments section below, and also do let me know where you are watching me from and also what time you are watching me, so that it helps me to know who my audience is. It helps me to know what time a lot of you guys are more likely to be watching my videos, and it just helps with the algorithm. So, and guys, you know, I always spit gems after gems after gems. So it helps to like the video before you even watch it, because it's gonna be an amazing, amazing video. So please give the video a thumbs up, and do share it as well. So I see you, Sally. Thank you so much for tuning in. So guys, as you have seen from the title of the video, today we are looking at how you can position yourself for opportunities abroad in the coming year. As at the shooting of this video, we are exactly November, December, 2.5 months shy to the new year. So we may as well start preparing for how we want to spend our new year. So guys, thank you so much. So I'm just going to share with you some tips, and nothing I'm going to talk about is actually new. It's just more of a reminder for all of us. So, and I'm gonna tell it as it is, guys. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So be prepared. So number one, paperwork. I cannot tell you the number of times I do a video here on the channel, and the first question people come and ask is, Eva, I do not have a Form 4 certificate. I don't have KCSE. Can I apply? Guys, if you are watching me and you do not have a high school certificate, please do yourself a favor, go and enroll in Form 4 or O levels in your country and get that paper. Because guys, let me tell you, the world has become so competitive that even for those opportunities where no education is required, it helps to have a high school diploma. And you don't have to go back to school and do the whole 4-year thing. I don't know about other countries, but I know in Kenya you can actually go and do some Gumbaru classes for a few days, months here, and then go and sit your KCSE. And I want to believe the same is for most countries. Guys, I cannot tell you how important it is to have that certificate. And you don't have to get an A. If you get an A, cool. If you don't have one, that's fine. The Form 4 certificate is just testament to a potential somebody that Eva actually has the patience to go through 12 years of boring stuff and to actually emerge a victor, because you're literally sitting through boring schoolwork for 12 years without quitting. That's basically the signal you are sending by having that certificate. So guys, by all means, please, please, please get the certificate if you don't have it. And this is not just like the KCSE certificate. Let's just say go and get all the things you claim, go and have them done on paper. Because guys, in our countries, Africa, Asia, wherever, we get away with so many things. Like right now, the governor of Nairobi is yet to produce evidence that he actually graduated, even though that is a requirement in this country. For you to be a governor or a member of parliament, you need to have a university degree. But somehow he got away with it. In other countries, if it's not on paper, it did not happen. And this starts from weddings, to births, to marriages, to deaths, to divorces, to separations, to anything. So anything that has happened in your life, if it's important to you, you better have it on paper. And don't wait until an opportunity arises. That's when you start looking for the paperwork. So guys, go and look for the papers. And I know in most countries, it's free to get that paper, or if you have to pay for it, it's very, very, very minimal amount. So get yourself some paper to prove the things you claim about yourself. And this transcends even further, especially to my people in the Gulf countries. Most of you are the culprits. Some of you have been working for years on end, and there is no evidence that you are somebody's employee. I cannot tell you the number of people that actually get hired on cruise ships, but when now they want evidence that you've actually worked where you claim to have worked, you do not have any paperwork. If you are currently working for anybody or any institution, honey, please go and get document from whoever that person is to prove that you work for them. And this could be in the form of a contract. It could be in the form of a pay slip. It could be in the form of like performance review. If it was a former employer, make sure they give you a letter of service. The letter of service usually shows that Eva worked for us for so many years. She was, I don't know, an accountant. These were her roles. This was her salary. And we're just happy with her work. And so this is something you should always ask a former employer. It is your right to have it. It doesn't matter under what circumstances your job has ended. So guys, start being proactive and getting these documents in place. Reference letters, letters of service. Make sure you have those documents with you. Pay slips. Some of you send me messages, oh Eva, I'm getting paid in cash. Now I need to go to the embassy. Where do I get a bank statement? Ask whoever is paying you to put your money either through mobile money or electronic transfer or any other means. Or if you get paid in cash, please go and put that money in the bank before you start spending even a dime of it. It's going to cost you some money to take it out, but in the long run, it's going to be helpful. You need paper trail of everything that you claim about yourself or about your life. Number 2 is not new to those who have been here long enough. Passport. Guys, I always say, if you watch my videos and you do not have a passport or do not have one in process, I don't know what you're doing on this channel, because this is a travel channel. Unless we're ni mchawi ama umetumwa. Because generally, everybody who's watching me here should have a passport. If you don't have a passport, there should be some application somewhere for a passport waiting. So if you're not having a passport and you're watching me and you have not submitted an application, let me know in the comment section below why, and don't tell me it is money. I know in Kenya, for example, for less than $30, that is 4,500 shillings, you get a passport. You cannot tell me you have bundles to watch my videos that go for 1 hour, 2 hours. You have bundles to watch Nyash on TikTok. You have bundles to troll people on Facebook, but you don't have 4,500 shillings to get yourself a passport, or $30 to $50 to get yourself a passport. That's not true. If you eat 3 meals a day, just sacrifice, go on intermittent fasting for 3 months, sacrifice your lunch and your dinner, you're going to be able to raise money for a passport. Alternatively, make sure every time we are having giveaways here on the channel, you position yourself for one. But generally, if you want to travel and don't have a passport, I think you should spend the time looking for one. Use that energy. You're watching me or trolling people or watching Nyash on TikTok or whatever. Get yourself a passport, honey. Get a passport. Like, I can't stress that enough. And I know in Kenya, for example, it takes even 1 year to get a passport. So I don't know why you want to wait. So just go and do the freaking application. And even if you don't have money, just do that application and let it sit there. You lose nothing. Let it sit there. You never know. The angel of, which angel is that comes? The angel, some angel might just come by your way and, do some miracles. And who knows, you might just be lucky for an opportunity to arise and you need to move like quickly, and you don't have a passport. It's going to be really sad, yeah? Number 3 is money. Guys, travel costs money. Relocation costs money. Everything costs money. You need money. I won't even mince my words. Those who watched, there's a video I shared here about a month ago, and I shared with you an email from one of my subscribers who actually got nominated by a province in Canada for permanent residence, but they didn't have money to take up the application. So generally, you're gonna need money to do your stuff, and there are lots of opportunities for you to get the money. As I always say, try as much as is in your power to raise your relocation money in foreign currency. That is the pound, the dollar, the euro, or any other of those foreign currencies. This is because, and this is the example I like to give, 1,000 US dollars converted to Kenya shillings is currently about 150,000 Kenya shillings. However, I will tell you for free, it is so much easier to raise 1,000 US dollars than it is to raise 150,000 Kenya shillings, even though they are the same, they're equal in value. And I share so many opportunities whereby you can actually get money in foreign currency. The most frequent one I talk about here on the channel is cruise ship jobs. Try and get yourself a cruise ship job. It is one of the easiest jobs to get if you have the right qualifications. It is one of the easiest. So for the cruise ship jobs, if you get hired by a cruise ship, you're gonna either join the ship from Australia, one of the Schengen European countries, UK, US, or Canada. So that means you're gonna need a work visa for these countries depending on where you're joining the ship from. And that is why I say getting your work visa through cruise ship is the easiest work visa you will ever get. And if, let's say, you get a cruise that is leaving from the US, you automatically get a C1D visa, 5 years, multiple entry. And that means the next time you want to apply for a B1, B2 visa, which is for travel, it's going to be a breeze. It's going to be a smooth experience for you. On top of that, when you work for a cruise ship, you get all your bills paid for you. Like, they provide for you room, they provide for you food, all your utilities, everything, all your money is paid in US dollar. You get it intact, tax-free. And you're working on the ship for 6 months at a time, and then you're at home for 3 months. So you can literally save a lot of money just by working on a ship and raise the money that you need to relocate abroad. So guys, do not shy off such kind of opportunities. I have talked about so many other ways you can make money online. You will have to go to Ivam Tali Finance channel to read about more of that and to learn more about them. But for here, I'm just gonna talk about the cruise ship job, because in addition to that, you get a visa and you get to travel the world and actually get an opportunity to decide if that is the life you really want. Do you want to live in these countries, or you're happier at home? So it's an opportunity for you to also travel and visit these countries and get a taste of what it is like to be away from home and from your loved ones for extended periods of time. Number 4, very important. And this is tied to the issue I had said. If you want to relocate abroad, or if you want to move abroad, then you need to give yourself time. You need patience. And I always say work with between 18 months to 24 months. 18 to 24 months, that's about a year and a half to 2 years, is ample time to get all these things that I'm talking about. So skills. And guys, if you have watched my video on visa-sponsored jobs in Ireland and employers in Ireland who are currently hiring candidates from abroad. You will notice that I shared with you the specific jobs for which people got visas the first 9 months of this year, the first 3 quarters of this year. I shared with you exactly what companies hired them and what sectors the people were hired in. And you noticed that the obvious suspects were there. Healthcare roles were the majority of where the work permits went. This was followed by ICT. So here we have software engineering, we have computer science, we have IT and all that. And then following closely in number 3, we had financial sector. But financial sector is very unique to Ireland because Ireland is one of those countries where a lot of organizations want to have their offices because of their tax, what do I call? They are tax friendly. It is a tax friendly country, just like Mauritius. So you'll find like TikToks, they have their offices there. Googles have their offices there. We have these major gaming companies. They all have their offices in Ireland because they're taking advantage of the tax climate in Ireland. So this finance doesn't apply so much to other countries, but it was very, very specific to Ireland. It also applies a little bit to Australia. It's also very easy to get those finance related jobs. But generally, guys, generally, the 2 sectors where you are guaranteed 100% possibility of relocating immediately and just starting work the next day is healthcare. And healthcare, I am being very specific to nurses like nurse assistants and, those more hands-on healthcare jobs. Doctors, not so much. Dentists, not so much. But if you're in nursing, you're 1000% guaranteed. You can relocate in a very short time and you don't need to go, except for Canada, which is very complex. But like with the US, Australia, UK, you literally go and start work the next day. You just have to do, like for UK, you have to do some English exam for nurses. For the US, you have to do the NCLEX exam, which a lot of people pass very highly. If you've been through our ruthless African, Asian education systems, trust me, that NCLEX exam is a walk in the park. So you will literally be able to pass that exam. So it's very, very easy. Another sector is like the software engineering, ICT, data science, all those, because there's general scarcity of people with that skill set in the world. So if you have it, then you have literally positioned yourself for a life abroad. It's going to be so much easier. For example, if you are a software engineer, like there's no other training you will have to do. If the company is hiring you, they're going to hire you directly. And the best part is that you get an opportunity. For most of the companies, you can work remotely and still be able to make a decent income. But if you want to relocate, you can also get an opportunity to relocate. Related to this is language, guys. And this one, I'm going to speak specifically to those my older audience who have younger kids. This applies to both you and your children. Language is very, very, very important. And I gave the example right now. Canada has a temporary public policy that allows you as a French speaker foreign worker to work in Canada, get a job in Canada without the need for an LMIA. If you're a French speaker, and I've shared this in my other video about LMIA exempt jobs in Canada, if you are a French speaker and an employer in Canada wants to hire you from outside of Canada, you are eligible to apply for a work permit, no need for an LMIA. I can tell you for free, I did French in high school. I spoke English for the first time when I was 9 years old. The first English word I ever pronounced, I was 9 years old. Why am I telling you this? If you are dedicated and you are committed, in 1.5 years, you're going to be fluent in French. You're going to be fluent in German. You're going to be fluent in whatever language you want to learn. So this is an opportunity for you to position yourself, learn that extra language. Stop wasting time watching Nyash on TikTok. And I will keep repeating this because, guys, I have a pseudo in TikTok and I see some of you there. I see the videos you people are watching and commenting on. Even right now, I'm sure some of you have two phones. One you've put listening to me, the other one you're watching Nyash on TikTok. Guys, spend that time to learn a language. Spend that time. And these days, and guys, by the way, I'm talking of these languages, I was learning them like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, when there was no internet, there was no TV, there was nothing. And we still managed to learn. How about you guys today who have an opportunity? You have internet, you have mobile phones, you have all these social media platforms. You can actually learn the languages. I learned Kenya Sign Language just by observing in church, and it took me less than 6 months, and I was doing translation. So guys, it is possible. Yes, Wanjiko, Nyash, yes, that's where most of you spend your time, looking at Nyash on TikTok when you can learn a skill. And these days, guys, there are so many, they call them MOOCs, who provide free courses on the internet. Google itself has so many free courses. All these institutions, Harvard and all these Ivy League institutions, they all offer free courses on Coursera. Go to Coursera and learn something. I actually started learning Mandarin through Coursera. So guys, it is doable, it is possible. Learn a language. And those of you who have kids who are still in primary school, when you are picking a school for your child, don't just pick any school. And I know, I don't know about other countries, but I know in Kenya, even the most remote school in my village have a foreign language, especially the government schools. Government schools have foreign languages that they offer. Please do not shy away. Tell your children if they find themselves in a school that offers foreign languages, please, you better fail even in all other subjects, but take up the foreign language. It's gonna help you. I was fortunate, I did French in high school. It was a subject that was offered and I will never ever regret it. I'm sure this can be helpful for somebody. As you're helping, guiding your children, your brothers, your sisters, your friends, your nieces, nephews, please guide them accordingly. And if you go to university, I don't know about other countries, but I know in Kenya, all the public universities in Kenya always have a foreign language department. Even as you focus on whatever course you have been invited to do, take a moment. Instead of gallivanting at night and doing all these things in box that you guys do, and Parkland's campus and whatever other campuses you find yourselves, take up a course. You can go to Confucius Institute and take a course in Chinese. You can walk to if you're in the University of Nairobi, Alliance Française is literally 3 minutes away from the campus. Go ahead and enroll there or enroll in your school. Take advantage of opportunities that are around. You don't just be a mumu, me, I came here to do Bachelor of Being Around, I am not going to do anything else. No. Find opportunities to spread your tentacles here and there. Guide your children accordingly, guide your siblings accordingly, guide the people around you accordingly. And even as if you're still, maybe if you have kids or if you're still in that stage where you're trying to find a path for yourself, if you watch like my video for Ireland, or if you watch the video for the UK, or even just if you do your own random research, just go to indeed.com or go to LinkedIn and just type visa sponsored jobs in the country you want. Like let's say visa sponsored jobs UK, or visa sponsored job Canada, or visa sponsored jobs US. When you type, just type that there, or even just go to Google and type it, visa sponsored jobs, name of the country you want to relocate to. It's going to show you the kind of jobs that majority are sponsored. And that alone should be a guide for you to know that, okay, looks like if I want to go to Canada, most of the sponsorships are being given in this area. So this is where I need to focus on building my skills in 2024 or in 2023. And guys, you will notice something, especially for those of you for whom I have written your CVs for. In these countries outside of our own, they don't care so much about for your education. they are more interested in your skill. And if you have even tried to go through job bank, I am yet to see even one job where they ask you for, I don't know, 5 years of experience with a PhD and a master's and an MBA. That bullshit, I have never seen it on job bank. The only jobs actually I have seen asking for a PhD, for example, are jobs for professors. So don't even lie to yourself. I know there's a lot of you who are here wasting your time doing MBAs and I don't know, public health and I don't know what rubbish, and you're thinking to relocate. Let me tell you, save yourself that money and learn a skill instead. And the reason I say that is because you're gonna do up to PhD in Kenya, in Ghana, in South Africa, in wherever. The moment you relocate to those countries, all that's gonna be binned, and they're like, okay, now can we now train you? You still need to go through training. They don't care for your papers. They don't care for your papers. So focus on the skills. Focus on your skill set. Go if you can do some data science. Something as basic as being on camera like I am now. Something as basic as writing, yeah? If you want to build your skills, you can start a blog. And I know some of you will say, oh, blogging is dead. Trust me, it is not. I have been blogging since 2004, and I still have a blog until now. And guys, I will tell you, probably some of you haven't watched my video. Do you know there is a pathway for relocating to Canada as a writer? And through that pathway, you do not require any sponsorship, you don't require anything, you just have to show proof that you have been making money through your writing. So that is something you can take advantage of instead of going to go through an MBA, for example, that will only be helpful for you here in Kenya. And once you cross over to the US, they're like, we don't recognize this. You still have to go and clean wanyanyes and wash people's bum-bums. Use that one to build another skill that will be more helpful for you. Go and do some data science, for example, learn to code or learn how to write or learn how to do videos and documentaries and something more fun and more marketable, or do some plumbing course or do some electrical wiring course or go and do some chef course and stuff like that. Something else, skill, which is very important. A lot of you, okay, personally, okay, I don't like to drive, even though I have a license. Guys, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. If you're planning to live outside of the Sunshine Continent, you're gonna need to know how to drive. So don't wait until, I don't know, some of you are waiting until the day you'll have a car. Trust me, there are more people without cars, according to statistics. There are more people without cars than those with. So the chances of you ever getting a car are very, very slim. But the moment you leave this country, it's going to be a necessity. Unless, if let's say you're going to go to the US and live in the state of San Francisco or New York, everywhere else, you're going to need a car. Same applies to, unless you go maybe to the UK, you're going to use the trains, which are very, very freaking expensive. It's actually so much cheaper to own a car sometimes. So not all, most of these countries are not walkable countries. Public transport is unreliable, so you're gonna need to drive. You need to learn to drive. And if you're waiting until you relocate to go and get your driver's license, be prepared to pay an arm and a leg for training and to get your driver's license. So it is so much better for you to train back in your home country, get your international driver's license if you can, and then once you relocate to these other countries, you're gonna focus more on getting to learn the rules and to get the DL instead of going to start to learn how to drive. And if you're in a position to learn how to drive a truck, it will be so much better for you. And all these heavy equipment, machineries and all that, please do so. You will never, ever, ever lack a job if you can drive those big 24-wheelers. Take it to the bank and come back here and tell me if I'm lying to you. It will be so much, much, much easier. You can buy your own truck because this economies, like, these guys eat. Hey, take like the US, for example. The United States is, I don't know how many times the size of Kenya, but it has 300 million. The population is 300 million. And food is moving from state to state. Some are moving from Canada to the US and across. Like, transport of food is one of the busiest activity. Canada is the size, I think, is the biggest country in the world by land mass. So you can imagine just moving things from the north to the south, from the east coast to the west coast. All that requires truck drivers. And guys, because of COVID, a lot of, the truck drivers, most of them used to be very old. So because of COVID, most of the countries insisted that all truck drivers, because they're handling food and handling items and blah, 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 they need to be vaccinated. And a lot of people didn't take it very kindly. So a lot of people quit the workforce. At least I know in Canada, a lot of them quit the workforce because they didn't want the COVID vaccination. Others just got old and they didn't want to continue exposing themselves to possibilities of getting COVID. So there's a huge shortage. Like for Canada, is almost 35,000 as of the shooting of this video, the shortage for truck drivers. So please get yourself a driving license. Other skills you will need to learn. Remember, we are talking about position yourself for a life abroad. Basic skills like doing hair. Guys, like these ugly locks here, you need to learn how to do them by yourself, because if you're going to be depending on other people to do it for you, especially in your earlier years, before you settle down and you're still trying to get your foot and get money, it's freaking expensive. Please learn to do your own hair, but not just for your own sake, but also to go and you can offer it as a service and get paid for it and get good money when you are abroad. Basic things like cooking. Guys, countries, these Western countries, if you cannot cook, you're going to have to depend on buying food, which is not just, is going to be very expensive for you. And secondly, just prepare yourself to lose your shape, because you don't know what is going into this food. And the more you keep eating out, the more you're gonna just get out of shape for nothing, and you're gonna get out of shape and get sick and all that. So please learn some cooking skills. And also, most of the food is very tasteless, because a lot of it has chemicals. When it doesn't have chemicals, it is GMO. So you have to put a lot of spices and really, like you see, like in Kenya, for example, we have this kienyeji chicken. I don't know what you call kienyeji chicken in English. Somebody type for me down there. If you boiled that chicken with salt, threw in a few onions here and there, and cooked it, it is, and salt, and maybe just deep fried it or just eat it like that, it's very tasty. If you just can add some nice sukuma wiki with onions and enough oil with ugali, is palatable. But try eating that chicken in Europe or in the US without putting garlic and all these spices. You will not even want to be around where that food is being cooked, because it is almost tasteless. So guys, you're gonna need to learn how to cook. Otherwise, brace yourself for a very expensive time out there. Number 5 way how to position yourself for a life abroad is having the right networks. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. So when I talk about networks, I'm talking about people that are around you like every day, but also people who are not around you every day, but they are people you can call on. Like if, let's say, like the case of I've talked about it in the other video. Let's say today I got permanent residence, invited for permanent residence. I didn't have money. I should be in a position to have a network of people that can very quickly help me to raise this money, for example. You also need the network, not just for the financial benefit you get from them, but also for, I don't know how I should call it. The way they say you are, not a summary, like you are, okay, is it summary? I don't know the right one, but you're like the summary of the 5 people you hang around with. You are the average, I think, of the 5 people you hang around with. So let's say if you are hanging around people with so much negative energy And I tell them like, oh, for example, oh, you know, I want to apply for a green card, and I don't know, and you want somebody who be like, oh yeah, it will be a good opportunity for you, and it's free of charge anyway. Why not? Those are the kind of people you want around you. You don't want somebody who be like, ish, why do you want to leave this country? Maybe we stay here with Zakayo and pay loans. You know, you don't want such kind of energy. You want somebody who is interested in your vision and your dreams, and they support your dreams and your visions, so that they can encourage you along the way. Because as we said, typically it takes 1.5 to 2 years for the average person to actually process everything and move. So you need the right kind of people in your space, in your sphere, and just to make sure that you have somebody to bounce things off, you have somebody to encourage you, you have somebody to even pray for you guys. Remember, I am very big on these divine things. The Bible says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there. You need these 2 or 3 people who can always bring the presence of God in your plans. You also need the right network of people, because some of you are literally having witches around you, and that's why your things are not moving. And I know some of you are gonna come for me and say, oh, Eva, you know me, I believe it. Oh, no, 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 no. That same Bible you believe in says that some of the people who are gonna get burned are witches. So which means if the witches didn't exist, how are they getting burned? So it means that some of you are even surrounding yourself with witches. And that's why I was saying, if you're watching me here and you don't have a passport, are you a witch? Why are you watching me if you don't have a passport or you haven't applied for one? Ama umetumwa. Some of you are busy giving your stars to witches instead of focusing on having the right network around you. So guys, make sure you have the right network of people around you, the people who you expose. Yes, your network is your net worth. Yes, yes, very true. Somebody has Davis. Yes, make sure you have the right network around you, because they're going to be helping you. They're going to be like your eyes on the ground. So for example, right now, if you're hanging around the right people, you probably are aware that such and such a thing is happening. They will tell you, oh, Eva, have you seen this opportunity? Have you seen that opportunity? I think you'd be the right person. I think you need to apply for this. I think you need to apply for that. You don't want people who are gonna find opportunities and they're like, ish, I hope Eva doesn't see this one. Oh my God, I hope she doesn't see this one. Oh my God, because they're so jealous. You don't want such kind of energy. Make sure you have the right network. And this one also applies. I've talked about the financial bit. So let's say somebody might come and say, Eva, what if I'm unable to find, oh, and then this one also, don't, even if you're poor, stop hanging around poor people only. Yeah? It doesn't matter whether you live in the slum, don't hang around poor people only. Find rich people to include in your network. And in my other videos, I have talked about some of the ways. So number one, your choice of church. If I come from a slum area, a lot of us want to, if I live in the slums, for example, let's say, for example, not even slums, let's say if I live and I'm using this as an example, don't come for me. If let's say I live in Umoja, why do I want to go to church in Umoja when there is a church in Maxwell? There's Maxwell Adventist Church, for example. There is Karen Church, for example. There's Lavington Church. So even when you're choosing your church, don't just pick the church that is close to you. Look for a church that has rich people, because through this church, the day you will want money to pay for your permanent residence, these rich people are the ones who will come through for you. And when you join this church, don't just join the church to be a backbencher. Join the church and be visible. When the church is looking for people to teach madrasa, let's say if it's a mosque, and they're looking for people to teach madrasas, be the first to volunteer, even if you don't know how to teach. You can volunteer to be helping to serve like break for the children. If the church is looking for a pianist and you know how to play the piano, please volunteer. If the church is looking for a sign language translator, please volunteer. The church is looking for somebody to help with the PA system, volunteer. The church is looking for a chorister, volunteer. And I know some of you will be like, oh, Eva, I am shy. You are not shy, you just have a low self-esteem. Go and visit a therapist, have your self-esteem fixed, and go and volunteer in your church. Even Moses was a stammerer, but he led the Israelites through the Red Sea. Don't tell us about you being shy and what nonsense. Even me, I'm very shy, but look at me, I'm here having a YouTube channel. So you are not shy, you just have a low self-esteem, you have childhood traumas. Find a coach, find a therapist, deal with your traumas, and go and volunteer in your church. If they're looking for somebody to do some Sunday school, something, go and volunteer. Be visible. That's all I'm trying to say. Be very visible, okay? So let the church elder know you. Let the pastor know you. Remember when I was sharing the video about when you win your green card, yeah? And I'm going to talk about green cards in a bit. Some of you are always like, oh, Eva, I need a host. You go and talk to the church pastor. Remember, everybody who wins the green card always goes to the pastor to tithe and to say thank you. So the pastor, the monk, the Buddha, how do we call the Muslim one? What's the name of a Muslim pastor? I don't know what they call them. The Qadi, everyone, everybody always runs to their spiritual leader to tell them thank you. When they need jobs abroad, they tell the pastor, pray for me. So the pastor always knows, the spiritual leader always knows who got the visa, whose child went to America, who did what. The pastor knows them. So be visible. Let the pastor know you by name. When God has blessed you, even with the littlest job, make sure you give your tithe and offering to the church, so that even in the church, when you send the pastor a text and he's tempted to go and check if you have been contributing, you will find your name there. You are consistent. Every month, 2,000 shillings. Every month, $2,000. Every month, 2,000 rand, 2,000 Ghanaian cedis, 2,000 Ethiopian birr. Don't just be the kind of person who is going to go to church or to the mosque or wherever and just sit down. You don't contribute. You don't do all those things. That's not how you build your net worth. You have to be visible. Another way you can build your net worth is, your network is through joining societies for rich people, like the Rotary. Like to be a Rotarian, like you join the Rotary Club. You know this, for example, in this country, if you're in Kenya and you want to meet Chandaria, for example, Chandaria is the richest man in Kenya. Legit rich. I'm not talking about those rich politicians who have stolen taxpayers' money. I'm talking about somebody who has actually worked, and you can clearly see where the source of his money is from, is Chandaria. If you want to meet Chandaria, go and join the Rotary. Yeah, if you join the Rotary, you will meet him one of the days, because he's a Rotarian. Yeah, so that is another avenue for meeting rich people and rich networks. If you work for the government in your country, I don't know about other countries, but I know, like in Kenya, if you get a chance to join like a railways club, I don't know if it is, they still give subsidies, but they used to give subsidies. Take advantage and enroll in railways club. All the rich people will be coming there to play golf. You will meet them. Say hello. And don't lie to yourself that you're shy. You just have a low self-esteem. That's why God gave everybody a mouth. If God didn't want you to talk, he would have born you deaf. No, is it deaf? Dumb. So the fact that God has given you a mouth, it is for talking. Use it. Stop lying to yourself that you are what? Shy. Shyness will not take you anywhere. Something else when it comes to your network, choice of schools. Now I'm talking to parents and guardians. Don't just pick any school for your child. You're setting up your child for failure. Let your child go to that expensive school if you can afford. Do you know why? That's where you're going to meet those rich people. And especially if you're a single parent, and you're looking for a mate, that is where you're going to find the rich fellow single parents. In addition to that, the day your child or you will win that permanent residence or whatever, and you need money, you will go to the school WhatsApp group and say, you guys, please help my child, and ask them to raise for you a WhatsApp something money. Or you will talk to the principal or talk to one of those parents who has been eyeing you, fellow parent who has been eyeing you. And when you take your children to this school, don't be those parents who even during they don't attend PTA meetings, they don't attend prize giving, they don't attend even opening day, they don't drop their child, closing day, they don't pick their child. Nobody, you guys, for me, I will tell you, all the schools my son has gone to, everybody from the cook to the cleaner to the principal, they all know me. All of them, they know me by name. In fact, the other day, my son was telling me, Mom, my friends were telling me you are, because I'm on TikTok. They're like, oh, my friends were like, you're appearing in all their For You pages. You know, like TikTok has, like the moment you log in, there's that page where you see, I don't know what, okay, they call it For You page. I don't know the equivalent on YouTube. And I was asking him, you mean they know me? He's like, Mom, who doesn't know you in school? So, some of you have never even seen where your children go to school. They even call for a Zoom meeting, you don't attend. They call for, what is it called? Prize giving day, you don't attend. Your child is having disciplinary issues, you don't attend. And these are the places where you meet people. These are the places your child meets people. So don't just be a parent, umenyamaza tu. Mimi, even in the WhatsApp, I'm those parents who are always in the WhatsApp group. Not causing drama, but always talking. If there's an issue being discussed, I am the one. If there's a meeting, there was a Zoom meeting, and the meeting has ended, I will write the minutes and post them in the group. There is prize giving day, I will be there shouting at the top of my voice with the vuvuzela, and I will make sure that they even have brown hair so that everybody will remember. Oh, in fact, the other day somebody, I went to my son's school when he was in primary school, and I had dreadlocks. So one of the teachers was not there when I was screaming, when his name was called. So later he asked my son, oh, did your mom come today? He said, oh, yes, she came. Okay, which one? Is she the one who had brown hair? I had blonde hair. So you have to be visible. You have to leave a mark everywhere you go. And that's what I do. So you might not be so vocal like I am. So okay, me, I'm not even vocal. I just want to make my presence known. I want my son to know I am his greatest cheerleader. In fact, these days he told me, Mom, I can't even, I was like, I always tell him when I go to his school, like, please just be prepared for embarrassment. He's like, Mom, I can no longer be embarrassed. Like, I have been embarrassed enough. Like, there's nothing worse that I'm waiting for. Like, he even expects, he does, like, he even gives me a straight poker face, like he's not even the one I'm screaming about. So what I'm trying to say is be visible even in those schools. If they're looking for a teacher representative, volunteer. You know the advantage. So like for me in my son's school, I'm the representative for his class. They volunteer. I don't even wait to be volunteered. Me, I volunteer myself because I know nobody will have courage to say no, we don't want that one. So volunteer yourself. And the advantage when you volunteer yourself, everybody will know you because they know this one is the class representative. The principal will know you, the students will know you, everybody will know you. And you're always on, the parents will also know you because they'll be bringing the problems to you to take to the school. So be visible. And if your child gets a chance to be a student leader, whether it's a prefect or whatever it is, please, some of you are very, very notorious for telling your children, oh, sikukupeleka shule kwenda kusijui nini, focus on education. My friend, those papers are taking your child nowhere. But those leadership skills they have will take them somewhere. So please make sure that if your child wants to volunteer in something, they want to be the president of the school, they want to be the captain of I don't know what, please let them be. Even if, trust me, if people were to compare between something like, let's say, let's say if I have an A, and then there's another student who has a C, but they were the class president, they're more likely, if it was a scholarship, they're more likely to get it. If it was a job, they're more likely to get it. So please do not deny your children these chances, and also do not deny yourself. Yes, always leave a mark wherever you find yourself. Be memorable. And also, even in your choice of school, please choose schools where you can build proper networks, and also your child can build networks for the future. Another tip for preparing, setting yourself up for an opportunity abroad is assets. So here, watu wa plot maguta. So a lot of you guys have this ancestral land. I don't know, you've been given land by your father, by your mother, but because of laziness, poverty, lack of knowledge, and many other reasons, you have not bothered to put that property in your name. Guys, remember I said at the beginning when I started, for these Western countries, if it's not on paper, it did not happen. So if your parents or somebody has gifted you a piece of land, my dear, please work hard to have that property converted in your name. And this is very important, especially on two fronts. One, when you are looking for a visa, a temporary visa, for example, one of the requirements is for you to show economic ties to your home country. Having a title deed, and the beauty with, let's say if you went to the American embassy or you went to whatever embassy, they're not going to ask you, shamba iko Nyalugunga, how much worth is it? No. Just the fact that you have a title deed, it shows you're a serious citizen of your country. It doesn't matter where that property is, because all title deeds is going to be written government of Ghana, government of Kenya, government of South Africa, government of whatever. They are not going to care where the location is, whether it is in Karen, whether it is in Kiambu, whether it is in Kisumu. The fact that you have that document, you're already showing you have ties to your home country. Secondly, you can eventually convert this piece of paper into money. So it is also an opportunity for you to hold some future source of cash flow. Like that day now, when you need to relocate, you can sell this property and then use that money to relocate. So guys, if you have any properties that belong to you or that has been allocated to you, please go through the subdivision, get your titles, get your paperwork done. It's going to be helpful for you. I already talked about certification. Something else, medical. This is very, very, very important. Guys, so generally, if you are looking to relocate permanently to any one of these Western countries, they're not going to take sick people, especially those with funny diseases. And I don't want to talk too much about this because I'm not a medical professional, but I had a case somebody shared with me, was it last week or the week before? Was it last week? So they got a green card, and they went through the whole process, and then, one of the process just before you go for the interview, in Kenya, you have to go to they call IOM, that is the UN office for refugees and blah, blah, blah. You have to go and do a medical test. Guys, all these countries, they are not, that's why guys, I always tell you, please take care of yourselves, because these people are not going to accept you if you're sick. They want, as much as this immigration is immigration, they are not just taking anybody. They want healthy people, because remember, they are looking for a workforce. And when you're sick, you cannot work. You're just going to be a burden to the healthcare system. So if you're sick, they don't want you. And that's why I always encourage you guys, take good care of your health. For example, if you want to drink juice, this is orange juice. I've just pressed it right now in my house. Instead of buying soda, go and buy oranges, go and buy mangoes, go and buy whatever and press that juice. If you can throw away or even leave animal products, it's better for your health. Work out at least 5 times every week. Because guys, if you're not healthy, no one is going to allow you to immigrate to their country. And sometimes, they even do like chest, they're called what, like chest x-rays. And if your health is not very good, you're going to be breathing funny when that guy puts the stethoscope in your chest. And that alone could be enough for you to be a suspect for TB or pneumonia or whatever. So please take care of your health. Also some jobs, for example, if you want to work on a cruise ship, you have to do your medicals as well. And they have specific doctors that you go to. So don't even cheat yourself at you're going to bribe the same way people go and cheat your employers currently and go and get sick of, and you are just so, like now in Kenya, Friday is a holiday. I know some of you are going to disappear on Thursday afternoon and you will return on Tuesday. And then you'll come back with a letter from some nurse Mwitu that you were having homa, you were having, I don't know what, when you were just drinking the whole weekend. That's where it ends. The day you want to immigrate, there's nobody you're going to bribe. Because if it is like the cruise ship, they will tell you specific doctors to go to. If it is Canada, they have specific doctors you go to. If it is US, everywhere, they all have specific doctors that you go to. So guys, check on your health. Eat healthy, exercise, and mental health is also very, very, very important. Anything or anybody that is not contributing to a positive mental health for you, you need to cut them off. It doesn't matter who they are, whether they are your mother, your father, your sister, your child. If they are not making your mental health better, please cut them off, because there is no way your physical health is going to be better if your mental health has issues. Which brings me to my next point. Make sure you go for medical checkups. So for example, like in this case, make sure you do, especially annual, if you can afford annual or biannual medical checkups, because it helps you to know where you're at in terms of if there are things you can improve on, you can improve on them. If there are things you can't improve on, it helps you to cut your losses. So for example, like in this case, this is somebody who had some infection that is incurable. They would have just cut their losses and not gone through that emotional journey of, can you imagine going through the whole process of applying for this job, getting it, going to the embassy, getting your visa, and then you can't take up the offer because of your health, which is something that had you checked earlier, you'd have been in a better position to know how to proceed. So guys, don't wait for the American embassy to send you to IOM, or wait for Carnival Cruises to send you to, I don't know, Doctor Who in Mombasa, or for some Canadian government to send you to some. No, guys, take your health as your priority. Don't wait for these people to be the reason why you go and test. Make sure you always know where you're at. So I'll give you an example. Like in my case, my health is very, very good, but last year I went to do a full medical. I do full medical twice every year. So when I went for my full medical, not last year, the year before, 2021. So when I did my medical, all my vitals were good, all of them. But they found that my calcium levels were right. Like, let's say, for example, they're supposed to be at 10, at optimal 10, I was exactly at 10. So that means if anything happened to me, and they dropped, I would automatically be below the average. You know what I mean? I was like at the, I don't remember how they use it. Somebody, any nurses watching me here, how do you measure calcium? I was at the, I don't know what you call it. Like, I was well, but I was like the last, somebody help me in the comments. I don't know what you call it. So thank God I had gone to check. So immediately I decided, hey, I need to take care of my calcium. So I started going out in the sun more often. I started taking foods that help with the calcium. I stopped taking milk products because remember, I know they usually cheat you that milk products help with calcium. It actually depletes your calcium levels. And right now, my calcium is almost 10 points above the 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 the, the, the optimal. I think that's what they call it. So why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you that don't wait until the day you want that paper is when you want, and start checking your vitals. Check them every year by yourself and do everything to protect your health. And some of you, I'm sure, don't even know what your blood groups is. You're waiting for the day you get an accident, and then they start testing. Oh, we are blood group. So, baby, such basic things. You guys know what is your blood group, those vitals, and all that. You know the basic. If you're a guy, make sure you go for those prostate cancer tests. If you are a lady, make sure you do the pap smears, do your breast cancer. I don't know what they call them. And the best part about these things, they're usually free of charge. So take advantage of those. What else haven't I covered? Oh yes, something else I forgot to mention about when I talked about paperwork. And I mentioned a little bit about it. So guys, when you go to these countries, foreign countries, very few of them are interested in your degree and your certificate. And that's why I said, guys, once I finish this live, please go even to Job Bank. You will hardly find a job that is asking you for, I don't know, a degree in what. All of them, they're always asking for high school or a diploma. Very rare are they asking for your degree. And even in terms of years of employment, it's always 1 year or 2 years. Which brings me to this point. Make sure that for whatever skill you claim to have some evidence that you can actually do it. So for example, if you are a chef, these days, thank God for social media. If you are a chef, start a TikTok channel. Every time you prepare a meal, just do a short clip of it and post it. As you're preparing something, post it. Start a YouTube channel. Start Facebook. Go on Facebook and just document. What I'm meaning is have a documentary of your skills. If you are a writer or you're an aspiring writer, start a blog. And there are blogs that are not self-hosted, so they're free of charge. If you are a good speaker or you want to learn how to be a speaker, start a YouTube channel. And if you think you claim to be shy, aka low self-esteem, put your videos on private so that when the employers want evidence or when you need to showcase your skills, then you have a place where you can just post the link and say, this is where my skill set is. If you're learning a new language, for example, YouTube is a perfect spot for you to practice. You can be posting clips here and there on TikTok and everywhere else so that the day you want to apply, for example, that LMIA exempt job in Canada, you can send to your employer and like, okay, here's a clip of me speaking French or places where I've been speaking French. So make sure you have a portfolio. If you are a photographer, you're a graphic artist, you are anything, guys. Right now, anything can be documented. Even if you're a plumber, you're an electrician, you're a teacher. Guys, we have teachers running huge TikTok channels. Like, I don't know if you've been on TikTok long enough, you have probably seen, and this is very common with South African teachers, A lot of them have been showcasing how much fun they are having in the classroom with their kids and all these dance videos with their kids. And everyone is just like, oh my God, why was my primary school teacher so mean? And I was like, if I was somebody, let's say if I was looking for a teacher and somebody sent me their TikTok videos or a link to their TikTok channel, how they are interacting with their students, I would not even need another interview with them. I'll be like, oh my God, if she can make class fun like this, that's all I need for my child's mental health or for my school's mental health. And you guys, if you are in Kenya, you probably have seen there's a lady here in Kenya. She's actually a student at the medical training college, KMTC in Nairobi. So this girl, you know, when you're in the MTC, she's training to be a nurse. When you're in the MTC, I don't know about other countries, but in Kenya, when you're training to be a nurse, anybody in the medical field, as soon as you start your classes, you start to go into the hospital. So this lady, what she used to do, she used to be in the medical training college, but when they are doing their, what they call the practicum or something, she always would do TikTok videos, singing and dancing for the patients. Every single time she's in the hospital, she would do clips, and all she used to do was just dancing. And she started by dancing for the children, you know, like the little children. She would do like very beautiful baby songs, and she'd be dancing, and the children would be so happy and excited. And if she was, let's say, in the ward of older mamas, she would do like maybe Christian songs, and she'd be dancing. So she just used to do, minding her own business, just in her as a nurse student. She'd be posting the videos on TikTok. And guess what, guys? One day, it was this year actually, the World Health Organization had a meeting in Geneva, Switzerland, and it was talking about, I think, innovations in healthcare or something like that. And guys will not believe, this girl, she was selected to go and present to, guys, do you guys know who is in World Health Organization? World Health is like the biggest UN body in the world. And this girl, just because of how she innovatively used to interact with her patients. Remember, she was already a nurse student. She was a student actually. And she showcased how she was using social media to make her patients' bad situations a little better. Can you imagine if you're sick and this lady should come, like you're a child, and she just come and dance for them, and the children will just feel so much better and all that, and they recognize her. So somebody like her, and then the thing went viral. Guys, if any of you know who I'm talking about, please link her channel here. I just can't remember. In fact, let me look for her name, because this is very, very important. I think some of you think that, oh, but I'm a nurse, where am I going to showcase my skills? So she actually, let me remember what her name was. She's a nurse, and she went to the what was her name? She was actually used to be called Corona. She was called Corona Dance Nurse. What was her name? What is her name? Let me see. TikTok dance. Kenya, UN, Geneva. Oh yeah, she's here. But now this other whatever of mine. Are you seeing? Look at her. She's singing a Kenyan song in Geneva. She's dancing. Can you see her there? Kenyan, she's in Geneva there, dancing, and look at her in the UN meeting. Let me remove the volume because I'll be copyrighted. But guys, you can see her right there. That girl is a student in Kenya, and she's in Geneva. the UN World Health Organization headquarters, just because she showcased her skills on social media. So guys, probably there are other people you might think like, oh, I need to go. There's people even with PhDs in nursing and whatever, and nobody has ever called them to Geneva. But this girl showcased her skills in handling patients, you know, not just going by the book, but whatever she was doing. And she was there, the World Health Organization event. She was invited, fully paid for, and I can take this to the bank. This girl will go places. And when she came back, the president recognized her. So many people recognize her. So guys, that's what I'm trying to say. Have a portfolio of your work, because you never know who is watching. You never know how far. The beauty with the internet, and that's why I always tell you guys, those who watched my last video where I literally just decided to give one of the commenters a piece of my mind. Some of us think just because I am behind a screen, I can do anything I want, I can say anything I want, I can comment however I want. You never know who is watching, you never know who's listening to you, you never know who's reading your comment. So be very, very careful. Take advantage of social media to showcase your best side, to showcase your skills, and be very creative with it, because you just never know where it could take you. Like this girl, if I was her, I am literally finishing school and applying for a job at the UN, and I know she will get it. So that's how people get jobs. Point number, I don't even know what point we are in, but another way to position yourself for a life abroad is independence. So I have noticed, so like even right now, I have just seen a comment. Let me even read it here. Independence. You must learn to be independent. I know a lot of us in our countries are so used to being done for things. For example, if you want to go somewhere, instead of opening Google Maps, you just prefer to go and ask somebody, I want to go wherever. Instead of, you're in town, instead of reading buildings, you prefer to go and ask people, and that's how you get conned. You want to apply for a visitor visa to Canada, instead of going directly to the IRCC portal, you want to go through an agent, pay $10,000, get conned, come back and cry on Eva's comment section. Because we have not been taught independence. The system is designed to be so complex in our country so that you're always depending on another person. But if you are looking to leave your country and immigrate, relocate abroad, you have to learn to be independent, think on your own, do your own research. People are very, very busy in these Western countries. Nobody has time for you to be stopping them on the way and asking them this, asking them that. When you're going to be in the workplace, it's not like in our countries where, for example, you noticed something you can be improved in your company, you go and present it to your manager and they think you want their job. In these countries, if you are going to work for them, they want somebody who has some sense of independence and can make their own decisions, identify a problem, propose a solution. So for example, if you're working in, I don't know, some sector, or you're working in a certain organization or a certain company, you identify an issue, please find possible solutions and go and present them to your manager. They will not feel threatened. And the reason, because these countries, there's no scarcity mentality. They don't have, because if it is jobs, there are more jobs than people. It's not like in Africa where there are more people than jobs. So everybody is always feeling threatened. If you're a good performer, it's a problem because they think you're going to get promoted and you take their job. If you're a bad performer, they have a problem. Like they just have a problem with you, whether you're good, whether you're bad, because of scarcity mentality. People are jealous. People are dealing with traumas from their childhood, taxes, left, right, center, inflation. In these countries, there are more jobs than people. So the employers also treat you well because they know you always have an alternative. So they're very, very open to employees who are forward thinking, who are proactive, identify solutions, to challenges, go and present them to your boss or to your whoever, and there's nobody feeling threatened because they know there's enough for everybody. So that's why I insist you must learn to be independent, have an open mind, and in addition to that, be open to alternatives. I have talked about this so many times here on the channel. There are people who want to go to Canada. For the last 6 years, they have been trying, the last 7 years, but they have never ever bothered to try other alternatives, even though they may be qualified. They don't have money, but they have the skills that can work on a cruise ship, for example, but they will never apply for a cruise ship job because they want to go to Canada. Right now, the green card, what is it called? Green card DV 2025 US green card applications have been opened since October, is it 5 or 6? This is almost now the second week. They have been opened. I came here on the channel. We went together step by step. I showed you how to apply. I showed you all the requirements. Everything we did right here on the channel. It took us less than 10 minutes to go through the entire application. Green card is free. You do not pay anything. You don't even need to have a passport when you're applying. But somebody here amekwama tu, me, I want to go to America. I want to go to America. Day in, day out, they're in the comment section. Oh, Eva, please help me. I want to go to Canada. I want to go to Canada. But they will never try anything else, even if it doesn't cost them money. They will never ever try. Please, guys, be open to alternatives. You just never know where Lady Luck could fall on you. Be open to alternatives. And then the other one is, oh, this is the last one. Oh, yes, I have also shared with you guys like the opportunities in what is it called? In the UK, I have shown you how to find for Tier 2 visa sponsorship jobs in the UK right here on the channel. I have shown you how to find jobs in Ireland. I haven't shown you the companies that are hiring. Guys, be open. It doesn't cost you anything to submit an application. It doesn't cost you anything to apply for a green card, for example. It doesn't cost you anything to apply for a job on a cruise ship, for example. It doesn't cost you anything to learn some of these skills free on the internet. Like, be open to alternatives. Second last point. This one I'm going to address women. And I know the feminists are going to come for me, but I don't care. Women, I don't know how to diplomatically put this one. So we've said that if you want to relocate, give it like between 1.5 to 2 years. 18 to 24 months is a good time. Now, during this period, unless this person is playing a crucial role in your relocation journey, please. Okay, let me say the way my coach always says, stop dating when you're poor, especially when you have a goal you're trying to achieve. And I will qualify that statement. And especially, and that's why I said women, please, you are the one who is the gatekeeper of the womb. And I know the feminists have told you, especially when it comes to single parenting, people are like, oh, even the man is equally responsible. Why did he have whatever without protection? My dear, if it was equal responsibility, those men would have monthly periods to hold those babies. They would have wombs and they will also have breasts. The fact that the men don't have breasts, they don't have wombs, they don't get monthly periods, it means that this burden is on you as a woman. The burden of the baby is on you. You are the one who is the gatekeeper of the womb. Be focused. Some of you decide, oh, I want to immigrate, I don't know to what country. You are still busy running around here with the people who are not even contributing to your journey to those countries. Before you know it, you're pregnant. That is another complication. And you know, for example, if you want to move to Canada, for example, you're gonna need to show money for every child you're moving with, every boyfriend or husband you're moving with. So guys, if you can just delay, just close that womb for 2 years, keep those men away for 2 years and focus on your journey. Maybe, or just maybe, the energies you're using to create those babies and cry when those men don't answer your phone call, you could be using it here to build a future for yourself. And I've addressed women specifically because, guys, let me show you something. I hope I'll find that. I don't know, I think it is on the other. Oh, it's not here. I'll post it on the I'll post it on the community tab. I had a picture I wanted to use, but I've just realized the picture is on this phone that I'm using. I'm gonna post it there. It's not equal. It's not an equal world. You know, some of you have even seen how I'm actually yet to find, like, look even at the women who are in Saudi. So many of those Saudi women are in Saudi because they have children. And if there's anybody in Saudi who is watching me here, you can say if I'm saying the truth or not. Most of the women who are in Saudi suffering at the mercy of those slave owners is because they have children. If those women did not have children, trust you me, they would be back here in Kenya or Uganda or wherever. Am I saying the truth? Let me know in the comment section below. Most of those women are there because of their children. They are not there because they want to be there. And that's why, guys, I'm saying, if you can just close that womb for 2 to 3 years and focus on your goal, focus on your dream, trust me, it's gonna pay off. Unless that man you're running around with has money. So maybe you're gonna use him to show proof of funds. You have no business running around with him. So hold your wombs for a bit. This next 1.5 years, focus on your journey, focus on your dreams, focus on those other 15 things we've talked about. And then the other one, no, this is not the second last one, is have a vision. So I cannot tell you the number of times I do a video or I go on a live and somebody comes in the comment section, oh Eva, I'm 60, can I relocate? Oh Eva, I'm 50, can I relocate? Guys, let me be honest with you. And you can come for me in the comment section, I'm ready. There is an age which, and this is my opinion, you can judge me if you like. There's an age in life, if you didn't make it to immigrate, weachia watoto wako, just let your kids relocate and then let them invite you uende urambisie huko. So for example, let's say 50, 55, unless you're just going to visit, or you're 60. Let's work with 60, because I've seen 60-year-olds come here in the comments and they're like, Eva, how do I relocate? Guys, if at the age of 60, you have been around for 60 years, you still don't know how to relocate, Akiwe, just stay in your country. Because if at the age of 60, you don't know the alternatives that are available, you have been around for 60 years. And we have 19-year-olds who are moving to the US on green card. We have 20-year-olds moving to Canada on express entry. Sasa, by the time you learn all these things, you'll probably be like 62. And then you move. Can you imagine you move, for example, from Kenya, this sunshine continent, or from Ghana, or South Africa, or Tanzania at the age of 60? 300 plus years of sunshine. and then you go to Alberta. Let's say you immigrate next month. By next month, the temperatures have dropped to minus 50 degrees centigrade. Able to tell me how you're going to survive? Minus 50. Minus 50 degrees centigrade. You guys, you saw me. Last winter, I was in Canada. And I was just in Toronto. It was, the lowest it went was maybe minus 10. And you saw how I was looking like. In fact, some people were calling me Mdomo Birika. Like I was really abused on TikTok because I was just looking in the winter. So imagine somebody 62. Not that you grew up there, you have just landed at 62. Minus 50 degrees. Tell me unataka kuanzia wapi. And then something else, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody, I'm telling you the truth. When it comes to issues such as even getting used to the food, can you imagine you've been eating a certain type of food for 60 years? And then after 60 years, you're not only adapting, you're looking for work, you're probably getting certified, you're dealing with the weather, you're dealing with, I don't know what, all these things, plus food. Like you want to start adapting your palate, surely, guys. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if the train left, please let it leave and focus maybe on your children or your grandchildren. Some of you probably have watched the video. That lady who she came to my TikTok live and I recorded it. The lady said she applied for cruise ship jobs that I talked about here on the channel for her 2 nephews, and they actually got the job. She's probably an elderly lady. I mean, by the time her nephews and nieces are working on a cruise ship, they're probably maybe like 20 years old or 25. So she's probably maybe in her 40s or her 50s. I don't know how old she is. And she's just like, you know what? This thing is not for me, but I think I know somebody who would fit perfectly. And she's just like, you know what? I'm going to send my nephews, and her nephews are there. So guys, let us be realistic with where we are in life. Let's say, if you really must move at an elderly age, like let's say if you want to, some of you are like, oh, I'm 50, can I work on a cruise ship? So guys, if let's say you are an elderly person and you want to work on a cruise ship, you're going to need to be a very good dancer, because cruise ships are always looking, especially men. If you are a very good dancer, and you must also be cleaned up, like eye candy and all these things, they also like, so that means you also have to be in good health, you have to have good skin, you have to take care of your health, be the right size, see your stories of vitambi, and like just look good. Which brings me back to the issue I talked about, portfolio. Have a place where you showcase your skills. Like if you're a dancer, have a place where you, like on TikTok, have your dance videos on TikTok. And you could actually apply to work on the ship as, I don't know what they call them, but there are people like men. So let's say if I went on the ship as a single lady, the ship actually has men who are on payroll, and their job is to give me company when I'm on the ship. Nothing sexual. It's just to make sure, like, when I go to the dance hall, there are these men who will keep me company, because most people on the cruise ship, they go with their partners or with their friends. So if you're like a single lady, just to make sure you don't like feel left out and alone. So the cruise ships hire men. I've forgotten what they call them, but there's a name they call them. And your job as that man, they usually prefer elderly men, 55 and above, with good dancing skills, good looking, well put together, nice shape, smelling nice, looking good, nice height, good teeth, and all that. And their job is to just keep the women company. It's a very nice job to have. I'm always like, I hope one day when I'm old and gray, I could actually go and keep men company. I don't know if they hire ladies for that role, but I know they hire men for that role. So generally, be realistic with where you see yourself. Have a vision first. So I'll tell you, for example, like in my case, one thing I know for sure, I am not cut out for city life. So eventually, once my son is off to college, I am moving to the beach. to live my quiet, laid back life. And some of you are already following that journey on my other YouTube channels, Tarehe Mana. That is eventually going to my retirement place. So I have a vision for yourself. Just look at yourself, be realistic, ask yourself, what does Eva like? Where does a 60-year-old Eva see herself? I am obviously not seeing myself in snow. I am obviously not seeing myself in air conditioning. I am obviously, and something else. So for example, some of you always say, Kiva, nitafutie hata hiyo kazi ya caregiver, I don't know, nursing. You people, you think the nursing practice abroad is the same one you see here in Kenya, where you are there abusing pregnant women in the maternity ward, you are harassing patients in government hospitals. There, you need to have energy. Like you're literally lifting somebody who's like 800 kilos. Like all those obese people, you're literally lifting them up and cleaning them. All those wanyanyes, you're washing their boom booms. Is that what you want to be doing at 60? I don't think so. So be real. Do you even have the energy? Let's start from there. Do you even have the energy to lift somebody who's 400 kilos? And I'm not even playing. There are people who are, go to America, you will see obese people, 400 kilos. You're gonna be lifting them and lifting their tummies. Like they have tummies that are literally hanging. And I'm not body shaming anybody. I'm just speaking the truth. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. Like you have to lift the tummies and clean. What do they call this thing? Nurses, help me. Like when you have a tummy that is literally hanging, let me show you. Like you've seen the tummies that somebody is obese until the tummy is hanging, like you're lifting it up and cleaning and doing all. I don't know if you want to be doing that at 60, guys. So let us be realistic. If the boat sailed or the train left the station, just let it go. Don't even bother waiting for the next one. Last one, for real, for real, for real. Mindset. Attitude. I have talked about this over and over and over and over, and I'm going to close with it. It doesn't matter how well you have done all the other things I've talked about for the last 1.5 hours. If you have the wrong attitude, there's nowhere you're going. And even if you succeed to go, you will not survive. If you have the wrong attitude. And that's why, guys, this is my theory. If you are supposed to make it, you will make it. It doesn't matter whether you're in Kenya, Canada, America, US, Australia, it doesn't matter. If you are the type who was to make it, you will make it home or abroad. And that is why you will find people who went to the US, went to Canada, went to Europe on silver platter. They went on a green card, they went on, I don't know, citizenship, permanent residence, but they are in a worse situation than you who remained in your country. And you'll find somebody who really struggled, like they even went on they are even illegal immigrants, but they're doing so much better than somebody who has a green card. So this is my theory. If you have the resilience, you're hardworking, if you are meant to make it, you will make it. So take advantage of where you are, look for opportunities where you are, use what you have, even as you wait for what you want. And I did a video right here on the channel, and I gave an example. So many opportunities, even right here in Africa. Some of us are so busy looking to leave these countries that we don't even identify the opportunities that are around us. Right here in Africa. Here, I have a friend who works for Google in Africa. That guy's net salary is more than 1 million Kenya shillings. That is more than, he gets almost $8,000 net salary. Right here in Nairobi, Google Africa, $8,000. Guys, If I had $8,000 every month net salary, I would rather be having that money in Africa than in the US, because it goes a long, long, long way. So guys, let us not be so closed on wanting to live that we forget to look at the opportunities around us here in Africa, in Asia, in the Caribbean. There are equally good opportunities if you just open your eyes. And that's why, guys, I encourage you, set up your LinkedIn account if you haven't. Showcase your skills. Use social media to showcase those tangible skills that you have. They don't necessarily, like, you could be an accountant, but you can, like, I don't even know what you, okay, let me use like the nurse. You're a nurse, but you're dancing for your patients. You're a chef, but you're doing TikTok videos every time you do a good meal, every time you present something. Like, find something in addition, like stack up your skills. Don't just be, you're a chef, you're just there sitting, whipping cakes left, right, center, and not showcasing. You're a teacher. Don't just be there, the most boring teacher frustrating people's children. How about you be an active player in supporting children's mental health? In fact, let me show you one of the videos I like. Let me look, I hope I'll find it. I'm really loving the South African teachers. Let me look for, if I can find one of, I don't know if I'm gonna find them. So there's like the high school, like the South African teachers, my goodness. Let me see if I will find it. There's one I really love. Oh yeah, like this one, I'll show you. I think I found it. Like, there's some teachers who are really making the students' lives really fun and nice. So be that teacher. Don't just be the mean teacher. If you're a teacher, you can showcase the fun times you're having with your students. And I don't know, there's one I saw here, I can't find it, but that's what I'm trying to say. Just be a nice person and showcase your skills, be open-minded, and find ways of changing your mindset, your attitude towards life. And also, okay, I can't find them. I'll probably post them somewhere there in the comments. Finally, the words you speak, whether it's the comment section, whether it is to yourself, to other people, I always say words have power. This world we are in, with all its amazing, amazing features, was created through the word. Like, Jesus literally spoke this word into existence. And he said, if you have faith as little as that of a mustard seed, you can tell this mountain to move from here to there. That's how powerful words are. So whatever it is you're speaking, whether to yourself or to other people, ask yourself, is it building or breaking? Because your body doesn't know the difference. So if you keep telling yourself, oh, me, I'll never get this, or it will never work for me, or I've been applying, that's exactly what's going to happen, because your body doesn't know the difference. Your brain doesn't know the difference. The universe doesn't know the difference. The universe is going to pick what you use and it's going to run with it. So as you're busy there complaining and shouting and screaming and speaking mean words to yourself, people are standing before kings. So I was actually reading a Bible verse today before I started. I don't know if I'm going to find it, but it's in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 22, I think. I don't know if I'll find, but if somebody knows the verse I'm talking about, it says that, oh yes, I found it. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29. It says, do you see a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Okay? Do you see a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. So as other people are busy claiming that promise, you are busy there crying. You are busy being lax in your job. Oh, which I almost forgot. Something else I almost forgot. Guys, some of us in our countries, and this is the point I wanted to talk about when I was talking about independence. We are so used to being pushed around that, like, we don't love our jobs, yeah? Like, you find somebody hates their job so much that, so I'll give you an example. Last week, I was flying to Ethiopia. I went to the airport to get my boarding card. And the lady who was serving me, the I don't know what they call them, those people on the ground staff who was serving me. Can you believe from me handing over my passport to getting my boarding card, she never spoke one word to me. Not even hello, not even can I have your boarding card, not even where are you flying, nothing. Because generally they're supposed to be asking you like, where are you flying, just to make sure like you have the right ticket. Nothing. She never spoke a word to me. So after she gave me my boarding card, I asked her, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? And she was like, yeah. Now I told her like, you seem to have had a very long day. Have you been here all night? Because that was around 8 a.m. in the morning. So I asked her, have you been around here all night? And she said, no, but I've been here for a while. So I asked her, how long have you been here for? She told me I've been here since 4 a.m. And then I asked myself, so personally, I had been up since 5 a.m. So she was literally just 1 hour ahead of me. And I was my normal self. And I was like, oh, okay. You behaved like you have been here for like the whole night. But anyway, so I just walked away. So the point I'm trying to say is that I don't know about other countries, but I know like in Africa, in Kenya specifically, the work ethic is pathetic. You can come for me in the comments. I give you permission. The work ethic is so pathetic that nobody wants to do what they're hired to do. People want to be pushed around. People want to be reminded of things they're supposed to do. Like nobody, hakuna mtu anataka kujituma. There are few people who have a good work ethic, but majority just don't care. My friends, that attitude, make sure you leave it at the airport on your way. Because in these countries, work ethics is huge. So something as basic as, for example, you decide to go and drink yourself the whole night, and then you don't show up for work, and then you go and lie that you're sick. In these cultures, lying is not a thing. So people take you at face value. So whatever you say, like they don't even believe that people lie. Like the culture is so, I don't know how I can call it, like whatever you tell them, they believe you. So if you went to ask for a job, they actually believe that you want to work. So nobody is gonna be following you up and down. And you can ask people who work in the diaspora. Kama kuna mtu amechochewa, it is always another immigrant chochearing. I don't know what is chochearing in English. Like it is very rare to find a native chochearing you at the workplace. It is usually your fellow Kenyan, your fellow black person, your fellow Asian, your fellow, it's never the other locals of that country. Because for them, they believe you applied for a job, you want to work, so the hell work. So Don't expect to go and you're still waiting to be told, okay, Eva, do this, do that. Nobody's got time for that. So that is something you have to change and prepare yourself. Itabidi umejituma. And you know that there's nothing like bribery, there's nothing like what. So if somebody actually reports you, you're gonna go home. Another thing, basic soft skills like empathy. I know a lot of us do not have empathy. I remember when my mom died. Now I can talk about this because my sister is no longer there. And if you're watching this, that bank staff who harassed my sister, I remember when my mom died last year. So my mom was not sick. She just slept and never woke up. So it was all a shock to all of us. She had gone to sleep very fine that day and she never woke up. So when she died, my sister, my last born sister, you just know how last borns are. She was the hardest hit in our family by my mom's death. And you will not believe. So my mom died on 5th. So 5th, like we woke up in the morning of 5th and she died at 3 a.m. on the 5th. So my sister used to work in Nairobi and she decided that same 5th, she decided to travel to the village because my mom died in the village, in her village house. And you will not believe, her boss called her that I'm just checking and confirming that you carried your laptop. Guys, your mother has died less than 24 hours. Huh? Your mom has died less than 24 hours ago. And the boss is asking you if you have carried the laptop. If you're one of those mean bosses and you're watching me, hizo tabia mbaya, you better leave them here. Empathy is a skill you're gonna need if you want to relocate. Because they're not even dealing with dead mothers. They're dealing with dead cats, dead dogs, and they're attending their funerals. So if you have no empathy for your staff who has lost their mother, where do you think you're going to get empathy for your boss who has lost their cat and they are going for their cat's funeral? This is a true story. Or where are you going to get empathy for your neighbor whose chicken got lost and they've gone to the city council and put a poster, lost chicken? And then they have posted it in the WhatsApp group for the office. And then you go there with a laughing emoji. My friend, you will be fired. So those, I know in Africa, empathy is not, I think, you've suffered so much. Now you're happier in America. And you think this problem somebody's telling you are like, they're like, my friend, you and your tough life, you will live it in Africa. You're not going to carry those bad manners to other people's countries. So what I'm trying to say, those soft skills, which here in Africa, nobody cares about. When they're hiring you, they're asking you silly questions. Oh, how do you handle conflict? Oh, they're not interested in how you handle conflict. They're interested how, for example, you empathize with your colleagues, good customer service. And there, you know, they don't even talk loudly like I'm talking like this. So you have to tell her even how you talk, guys. You don't just shout the way we shout here in Africa. My Nigerian brothers, they always look, you're fighting. Oh, you have to change in the office. Otherwise, you know, there are people talk. So those soft skills, you don't just go screaming and shouting. And I mean, like in the UK, for example, one thing you will notice if you go to the UK, even the shop attendant will call you darling. Don't think they're in love with you. You'll be accused of sexual harassment. Oh, it's just their way of doing things. They will call you honey. They will call you sweetheart. It is not because they are in love with you. And then you people who are wife beaters and husband beaters, you think you're going to go to America and beat somebody's daughter or husband, you will be deported though. So these other silly cultures we are so used to in Africa, leave them here. You're not going to beat somebody's daughter or son or child, even your own child, you are not going to beat. So you have to change your mindset. Start changing it right now. If you're the type who is into corporal punishment, start changing. If you're the type who cannot sit down with your husband or your wife and talk over an issue, you'd rather use your hands, please stay in your country. Drunkards, alcoholics, there you're not going to bribe the cop when you're found, when they use alcohol blow on you. You will go to jail. In America, for example, driving while drunk is a crime equivalent to attempted murder. You will go to jail, and after serving your term, you will be deported unless you are on permanent residence. So such things we get away with in our countries, drunken driving, I don't know, wife beating, husband beating, beating children, those ones you will not, you leave them here. Change your attitude. If you just drink haphazardly, you are found and you drink when you drive when drunk, you will go to jail and you will be deported once you're done. Same thing with wife beating and stuff like that. Something else, you have to get used to doing manual work. There's nothing like house girls there. They're very expensive. Even President Obama could not afford to hire a nanny. So start getting used to doing things by yourself. And it doesn't matter whether you're married or single. When you get to America or Canada or the US, both you and your wife are gonna be working to make ends meet. So it's not gonna be the kitchen being a woman's place or the babies being a woman's job. There's no bullshit like that. Both of you, if you participated in making that child, it is both of your responsibility. Those who are used to the deadbeats, now let me talk to the men. If you're a deadbeat, just stay in your country, because you will go there, they will attach your pay slip. It doesn't matter that you have 10 baby mamas, they will attach your pay slip. They will attach your pay slip. So if you're the type who's just sprinkling their seed everywhere, you will have to stop those bad manners here. You're not going to make somebody's daughter pregnant and run away like nothing happened. They will attach your pay slip. And if you're unable to pay, they will take you to jail. So such small things that we get away with in Africa, leave them here. So if you're addicted to running around like a chicken or a dog which is on heat, you'll have to start changing your manners, because those things will not work. Start learning to use protected. You start having protected procreation. Guys, I think I have talked more than enough. Even my voice is now going. So, and I think I've handled all your comments. Thank you guys, all of you who liked the video, who said hello, told me where they are watching me from. I appreciate you. I saw a comment there, somebody was asking me if the Africa event is still open. That is the kind of laziness I was talking about here on the channel. We have no space for lazy people. So me, I'm supposed to stop a video to go and check for you if the event is still open. I told you about the event, and I'm still supposed to keep tabs for you if it is still open. Excuse me? Please use your Google search bar. This is the kind of attitude we're talking about. It will not fly. It will not fly abroad. You have to start learning to research things on your own. For me, what I do here, I give you tips, I give you pointers. It is up to you to go and dig deeper and wider and further. And don't expect me to share something on a video and still come and tell you in the comment section that I will not do. Okay? I don't know why I can't see the comments. I don't know why I'm not able to see the comments. So guys, in case you asked a question and I didn't answer, my apologies. I'm not able to see the comments. I don't know why. Can somebody please say hi? So maybe it will reflect. Somebody just type hi there, because I'm not able to see comments. Somebody please say hi. I can't see comments, guys. Before I could see them and now I can't see them. So in case you asked a question, my apologies if I didn't see your question. I don't know why I'm not able to see any comments. Are you guys able to say hi? Somebody say hi. Anyway, in case I didn't answer your question, I'm going to end this live. In case I did answer your question, just come back and type it in the comment section. I will try to answer because I can't see them. I can't even see if anybody's saying hi. I don't know what is happening. So maybe there's a problem. I don't know, but thank you guys who've been watching me. Those who have given the video a thumbs up. Those who shared, I hope it was helpful to you. If it wasn't, shauri yako. But thank you. Have yourself a good night, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. It's always a pleasure. And if you haven't watched the Ethiopia vlogs, you are missing out big time. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you on the next one. If I didn't answer your question, please just come back in the comments because I'm unable to see any comments. I don't know what is happening. Bye guys.